Broadcasting live from backstage of Hangout 2014. We are Hangout Radio, powered by 92 Zoo. I'm G. Merle. Happy Sunday, the last day of the festival. And what a great way to start off our day here broadcasting with the Avett Brothers. How are you guys?
Great, Gene. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
We've got Scott, who is the guitar player. We have Seth, who is banjo and vocals. I guess all you guys are vocals, right?
Yeah, but flip that around.
Okay, we have Seth on guitar.
There you
That's
go.
it.
Scott's a banjo. Bob, do you still play bass?
Yeah, sometimes, not very much. I kind of stand on the side and cheerlead everybody else.
Okay. And Joe is the cellist, right?
That's correct.
Okay, now, you guys actually grew up in North Carolina, from Concord, North Carolina, and your parents still live there? Your mom's a school teacher, I guess? And
You're a retired school teacher, yeah, but yeah, they're there, yeah.
We're still there. We're all there.
Oh, you never moved away?
Nope.
So you guys came together, I guess, during college and formed a band, Nemo. Is that correct? And then that kind of morphed into Avett Brothers?
Sorta. We performed together before we went into our college years. After high school, we performed together, writing and performing acoustic songs,
Mhm.
But we're both in rock bands and in separate rock bands until we came together in the band Nemo as one rock band. So more or less that is true. But we performed earlier than that together.
Well,
Quite
I
a
guess
bit.
growing up together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes it tough not to.
Yeah, my first singing gig was still in the spotlight from Scott in church
That's right.
because Scott was playing hooky, and I just jumped in there, and that was my first big solo moment.
What song was it? Do you remember?
I wander as I wander.
Really?
I wander as I wander. Yeah.
And where were you?
Well, I didn't practice the guitar part, and it was supposed to be just me on the guitar, and Seth.
I didn't know that you were
And
supposed
Seth
to
had the
accompany
guitar
yourself.
part. Well, yeah. And so I was like, I'm not ready for this. This has happened quite a few times in my life. It's like I am not prepared for this. I'm just cutting out, and I'm just gonna cancel. And then when Seth stepped up in it, I was like, whoa, I gotta stop canceling things, or Seth's gonna steal all my thunder. So, but that happened on a number. We were talking about a production of a chorus line that I was part of in high school that I would have cut out of if I could have, but it ended up getting canceled anyway. And we were talking about how everybody in the production was crying on the stage because the principal of our school had decided not to let us put it on for strange reasons. And as everyone was crying on stage, I was backstage with a buddy of mine, just thanking our lucky stars,
Screaming,
saying yes,
whispering hallelujah.
we will not embarrass ourselves. Day after tomorrow, the first night of the production.
What part did you have?
I had the little spunky dancer.
Mike?
I can't remember what his
Yeah.
name was, but
The part he lives every day.
he was just like,
I was playing myself. I was playing myself as the
Yeah.
spunky little dancer.
yeah. I casted myself into it. It was a new part.
Bob, you joined the band 2002, right?
Yeah, 2001, spring of.
And how did you hook up with these guys?
I was going to college, my second or third time through college, and I met a guy. I started playing the upright bass, and I met a guy who knew Scott, and he said that he knew a bluegrass band that were looking for an upright bass player. And I met Scott and Seth and started playing bass with him, and then I sued my friend for false advertising because it wasn't a bluegrass band.
And we also sued his friend for telling us that he was a stand-up bass player.
Right, because I had just
'Cause he
I
wasn't
had a
bad.
stand-up bass.
He had
That
a
was-
stand-up bass,
I had one.
which was that was all the qualifications we needed. It was like, well, he's got his own stand-up bass, so
I also have a sousaphone, but I don't know how to play that.
Yeah, we had no intention here. I think we were just When Bob came along, all of us were just. There was just a spark. We were just having fun together. I mean, there were hopes and dreams about what we may do or make, but as far as making songs,
Mhm.
but there was really no clear view or intention.
When did that change? Was it when Rick Rubin took over? Or
No, that
right
changed
before?
yesterday.
Oh, it did?
No. The world of Rick Rubin and at the time Sony, but into American recordings was sort of our introduction to the big leagues as far as major labels and bigger stages, and whether we knew that or not, it was introduction to our professional career. Before then, we had been complete renegades, and you'd probably say it was like the amateur league or the minor league
Mhm.
for what we were gonna get into.
But there was like I think there was like a total deconstruction that happened because, Gene, you mentioned before Nemo and Scott and I playing as younger guys, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old. In that world, we were shooting for cover Rolling Stone. We thought that it was a viable option for being rock stars.
Right.
And so then that band sort of imploded on itself. It ended, and then we started all the way at square one, acoustic guitar, banjo, and stand-up bass, and we started playing shows in whatever coffee houses and bars and wherever we could play.
As early as '99.
Yeah, and
Really, that early?
So during that time, it was like a I wouldn't say re-education because we weren't educated, but it was the beginning of an education about what's realistic within this. So we more or less started thinking in terms of can we make a living? Because again, you look at 2000, 2001, that's the time of NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. They were at the top. That was the world of pop music then. So it wasn't a viable option to think that like a banjo could be on the radio. That wasn't even in our minds. But we sort of started teaching ourselves about being self-sufficient. We'll start our business. We'll become incorporated, and we'll play every night for $400. We can put $50 towards the gasoline. We can put this, and so we started managing everything, and we completely took out of our minds the cover of Rolling Stone, and that was good because it's probably never going to happen. But at the time, we were teaching ourselves really for the first time what a realistic take on a life in music would be. And so the part you're describing about meeting up with Rick and everything, that was after we had put in a good 8 years, and it started seeming like, well, yeah, maybe there could be some sort of commercial quality to this because we have already been rewarded and we've already made a lot of connections with a lot of people and gone further than we would have expected commercially. So.
Yeah, and in that time we didn't consider it minor leagues. I think we all were just like, we're already worth that.
And
right.
we were
whether
already
anybody ever
professional.
recognizes
At that point,
that,
we had worked ourselves into being professional by ourselves.
Right. Well, you played Bonnaroo in 08, right?
No doubt. Yeah, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
actually we had played like a few arenas before we ever signed on with any kind of major label or had any kind of help in that regard.
We played Bonnaroo
Everything
before,
was like really our schedule in the early years was what's next on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's like there was no pinnacle goal. It was always a weekly goal. It was always like, oh, we got this 5 a.m. Fox local Atlanta show on Wednesday, and we're playing in Athens, Georgia, on Thursday, and it was always like what was coming next. There was never, very rarely was there something that was a long, distant event. Things just kind of came along as they came along, and that's what kept us going. Is we were making the bare minimum to survive and do it and make it, viable to do.
And when did that change for you, do you think?
In some ways, it hasn't changed because we've had to, like, as far as viewing things further, we have to accept schedules that are given to us for 2015. We have to realize that there are bidding ordeals that we have to let the promoters and our agent work on that and make it happen. But we can't really think in those terms as far as the big picture. We need to think in terms of, all right, what's the job at hand? And once the structure of the future is laid out, then it's time to put it away and get to now, because that's really what matters.
And that's good to have. Living in the moment, enjoying it as well.
We work hard to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe, you're really quiet down there, man.
We've told him never to speak.
Is that it? How did you find these guys?
Bob actually found me. He's been regretting it ever since.
I just
Was he a spunky dancer?
I just unregretted it for about 2 hours, and now I'm
now
all
he's
of a
back to
sudden
Max
regretting
regretting it. Bob actually saw me playing with another band, and he asked to work on a side project with him, and that side project ended up, opening for the Avett Brothers all at the right time because they were recording Emotionalism at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They needed a cellist for a couple songs, and they approached me after that opening slot in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and I said, yeah. That was it.
Now, with the new album, Magpie and the Dandelion, is this the third record you did with Rick? Did you
Yes.
do all three with him? Okay. And the first one being I and Loving You.
That's it.
And that song was a huge success. Magpie and the Dandelion is even, I think it reached number 5 so far. first off, the title. What's that in reference to?
Well, there's always been a common theme with us, and I think with any drama, any literature or artistic drama, there's this push and this pull and this dichotomy of dark and light and up and down, and we find it revealing itself quite a bit in our work, and sometimes at odds with ourselves, sometimes at odds with each other, sometimes the work is at odds with itself, and the magpie and the dandelion were symbols of that we identified in the words of the songs and the stories that were in the songs. So we saw it as a centerpiece. Now it goes further than that. It's multifaceted. I think Seth would probably describe it even in even a different way.
Well, there are literal references to the songs. The magpie is mentioned in a song. Dandelion is mentioned in a song. I think some of it comes down to, Scott's talking about a dichotomy, a black and white, up and down. With our writing anyway, and with our presentation between Scott and I, there is an element of boisterousness and a blaring volume, and a very gentle, very quiet approach to singing and to presenting a song or a voice, and so the magpie being a sort of a blaring kind of bird, and then the dandelion being such a gentle, fragile element.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really a big part of the title.
Now, on this tour that you're playing here, are you on tour right now, or was this just coming in because you were recording last week, right?
This is a one-off for us. The festival is, but we've never done proper tours for anything. I mean, we're speaking about starting, in 2001, 2002. It was like, what's going on next week? What's going on next week? And that's how we've done it. That's how we've built it. So, whenever we've seen bands that we're summer tour, 2009, 3 weeks,
mm-hmm.
and we've always looked at that and been like, how in the world do you do that?
Yeah.
We do, for us, it's always been, coming up on 14 years or whatever. It's always been, 2 weeks on, a week and a half off, 2 days on, 2 days off, 5 days on, 3 days off. So there is no real structure. We try to lay low in the wintertime, but our answer is, yeah, we're on tour. We're always on tour.
Now, coming back to Hangout, because you played in 2011.
Yeah.
And did you play the main stage last time, or did you play?
We did.
The Chevy?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's where you're playing tonight at 6:15.
Yeah.
And I know you guys just got in this morning. Have you had a chance to walk around or look around or anything?
We've been playing ping pong all day.
Have you?
Yeah.
Great
Seth's
backstage.
winning Seth hasn't lost today yet.
I haven't lost yet, but it's a beautiful place for a festival.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
On
the
the
kind of
beach,
festival
man.
you walk into and you're just like, man, people are having a good time here. There's no question. You would have to work pretty hard not to have a good time, really.
Right. Exactly. I mean, with the scenery out there,
Yeah.
with the people, the
It's
crowd,
amazing.
everybody's into
Lovely.
it.
Seeing
Great
a bunch of
vibe.
people just forgot their suntan or their sunblock, just burnt to a crisp, and you just know they're having a good time. It's a great vibe.
Yeah, there's no room for negativity here.
No,
Not at
Gotta
all.
Just keep it.
no.
Now, from your memories of playing the last one, is it different than playing like Bonnaroo or some of the other festivals you play?
Something about this festival feels very, very light in a good way. I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this without making it sound like a criticism.
It's interesting to me how some festivals are music first, hip second.
Mm-hmm.
This one's very hip, and the music is equally as
hip.
And it's strange. Like that's not always. I mean, we play a lot of festivals, and the mixture is not always. Sometimes it's really awkward and beautiful in its own way, and they're all great. But this one has a very young and hip thing going.
It's
and still
cool.
easy.
Yeah, it's cool, but there's no pretense.
Yeah, that's
Right.
nice.
It's cool.
That's
Like
really
there's
nice.
there's not no one's posturing. Like it feels like a place you can go out and whatever. Just everybody's having a good time. Make mistakes during the song. Maybe you're wearing something that's not as cool, and no one's gonna look at you and make fun. It's just a fun environment.
Oh, you'll see artists going out and just hanging.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people don't bug them.
It's
You know?
it's just got a good vibe. You can just tell it straight away.
Well, their motto is "Be nice or go home."
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the actual Hangout motto,
That's
so
great.
that works.
Very good.
Yeah. The Avett Brothers, it is a pleasure having you guys
Thank
here
you.
today.
Thank
Pleasure's ours.
Thank you.
And I think they're doing chorus line over in the Boom Boom tent about midnight tonight. So
Yes,
You're gonna get your
I'm
chance.
over there.
You might
Spunky
get- yeah.
dancer.
Been practicing ever since.
we are Hangout Radio backstage at the Hangout Festival 2014, powered by 92 Zoo. Avett Brothers taking the main stage tonight at 6:15. So make sure you get ready for that. It's going to be an awesome show. Any surprises tonight? I know you've got like 3 other guys that are playing with you.
Seven on stage.
Seven on stage. So 2 other guys and a gal, and
We'll just see what happens.
they are the ones that save us musically. So
It used to be Joe would save us musically.
But now he's come down to our
we
level.
brought him down.
Yeah, we brought him down.
to.
He's
to
a
where he's-
blabbermouth, man.
Oh,
Joe just
God,
keeps chatting and chatting. Man.
all day long. That's right.
I can't get a word in with these guys.
that's right. The surprise tonight, Gene, will be if we finish the set without anybody passing out on stage
Or getting hurt.
Or getting hurt.
Or having a mirror ball fall.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about that on air, but this happened just recently.
Yeah,
We
New
did,
Year's.
and we haven't gotten a chance to talk about it. It was in New Year's Eve, and there was we're not exactly clear on why it fell, but it was a machinery problem. It wasn't a personnel problem.
Gigantic mirror ball.
Fell to the stage and fell through the front panels of the stage, and
We're talking
stayed
how
lodged.
much, like 1,000
foot
to
diameter.
900-pound whatever disco
Yeah.
ball. More like the disco ball.
Yeah.
Fell through the stage. Didn't hurt anybody.
I think we borrowed it from Leonard Skinner too, so that's even worse. Like abusing Leonard Skinner stuff is not cool.
No, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll come after you.
Yeah,
That's right.
So, we're going to play Morning Song, which is the new single from Magpie and the Dandelion, and that's the one that has Magpie mentioned in it, actually.
Yeah.
And I was reading on your credits that you've basically got almost your whole family on
Oh,
it.
tons of people, friends and family. Yeah,
Yeah.
we kept adding parts. There might be some people we don't know on that as well.
All the hasses are at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way?
All our cousins and a beloved aunt of ours who has recently passed is singing on it as well. Just a lot of loved ones.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's the Avett Brothers, live from backstage. Hangout 2014 on Hangout Radio, powered by 92 Zoo.